start with the biggest one, which is Facebook. It's a social media giant listed in 2012, run by Mark Zuckerberg, aka the Zuck. It also owns Instagram, WhatsApp, and Oculus Rift. The market cap is a whopping $320 billion. It has a PE ratio of 69 and pays no dividends. So this one, an interesting story because the listing seemed like a bit of a disaster.
Yes.
They didn't know whether they could monetize mobile, and as we've said, they have.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at their ad or their revenue growth since the IPO, when everyone was so concerned about monetizing mobile, that advertising revenue growth has been in excess of 50% since 2012, every single quarter on an annualized basis. It's been absolutely crazy. They did it just like that. And they regained the trust of their investors. And since then, the share has performed very well because they've never disappointed.
Well, let's have a look at that share price. And another thing that analysts pay a lot of attention to, and we'll delve on this with Twitter, is the growth in subscribers.
Yes.
And Facebook have managed to achieve this consistent, solid growth in their subscribers. And I'm not even touching on WhatsApp and Instagram and the other stuff right now. I'm just talking about Facebook specifically.
Yeah, I mean, almost 1.7 billion users. I mean, you're moving towards a third of the entire world who's on Facebook. It's absolutely crazy. Whereas relative to a Twitter, and we'll get into that detail later, they only have about 1/5 of that. So it's just a huge platform.
And recently, Mark Zuckerberg actually said that they reached 500 million users on Instagram, which they bought for $1 billion a few years ago. People laughed at them, said, geez, what are you spending all this money on? Now they've got 500 million users, and it's a great advertising platform.
Yeah, I mean, the reason why they bought Instagram, and it's really worked out for them, is just to get involved in that young demographic. I think millennials probably don't want to be on the same social media platform as their parents. I mean, my parents are on Facebook.
Because they get irritating comments all the time.
Yeah, I mean, go, love. We are so proud. Millennials don't necessarily want that. They like the anonymity of the likes of an Instagram. And also, I think they like the exposure of an Instagram where you don't have to be a friend with someone to follow them.
Yeah, which I suppose is a benefit of Twitter as well.
Yes.
So that means you can, follow the celebrities, follow certain sites, and it's more picture orientated, which again, I'm going back to the advertising strength of Instagram, which is obviously pictures, and now they've pulled in, short video clips.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you follow the HotStocks Instagram account?
I do.
Oh, that's great.
I also regram on the free regram app. I don't think that has anything to do with Instagram or Facebook. That's just a random app.
So are you hot or not on Facebook?
On Facebook, yes, we'd have to be, because if you look at the rating, it's very high, 70 times. But if you look at it on a forward basis, it's around about a 30 times forward PE. You've got a really strong growth trajectory. Ad revenue still being pretty strong. Weak consumer environment and weak global growth environment will result in more focused spending of ad dollars, and that focused spending will likely go into the digital and mobile space. So have to be hot.
And I get the feeling Mark Zuckerberg, he's really forward thinking. He really looking at the long-term picture. So basically his view going forward is using Facebook Messenger with artificial intelligence. And instead of using apps like we do these days, you just type in a question and everything you need will come up. So if you need any news on Brexit, you say, what's happening in Brexit in Facebook Messenger, and all the news articles will start coming up. So that's the way he sees the future. So you get the feeling the company's in great hands.
Yeah, it's always great when a company is being run by a visionary, and Mark Zuckerberg certainly is that.
And he's definitely not there for the money because he's busy structuring Facebook that he can actually donate 99% of his wealth. So company's in good hands. We're both going to remain hot on Facebook.